Hey everybody, I wanted to talk today about one of the biggest issues I see when people play this game, and that is getting feces. Um, I've set up on an empty island, and I want to go over some of the major ways that you can get feces, and we're going to run about 30 minutes to do a trial and to see what is the best and most efficient way to collect feces. So the first thing that I've got set up over here is a place to put my pet giraffe. Over here I'm going to breed some cows, and then I've got a place to go back and go fishing. You can also get feces from fishing. The pet giraffe is one of the best AFK methods. I believe every minute they have about a 30% chance to drop feces. And I'm going to use the weights tamer skill to make him wait so I can get him lined up, and that way when he poops it's going to go right into this absorber and collect it into this chest. And we're just going to let that run during the entire video, just so you can we can kind of check that 30% chance value. If all things go right, for 10 minutes or 30 minutes, you should have about 10 feces. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to breed some cows. And the idea is that animals have a 30% chance to drop feces. I believe it's every 20 or 30 minutes. I can't remember which it is. But the idea is I'm going to breed a bunch of cows, and we're going to see how much feces this produces. This is a lot of the recommendations that you see people say. If you just kind of look at other YouTube videos, they tell you to make cow farms. This works, but I would say it only works if you do it on the island of a beginner or an empty island, so that way your feces doesn't despawn. And if you just notice, my giraffe just already dropped his first feces, and we're not even into this very far. So that's a good sign that the giraffe is dropping them at a pretty good rate. So we're going to get these cows going, and while we're doing this, we're going to try out some other kind of not so obvious ways to get feces. One of those is fishing, only in the fish shadow. So the school of fish that's on most islands, it's not on the Hell Island. You do have a chance to get feces whenever you fish with a fishing net. So that's something to consider. We're going to try it. You only get one shot per island visit. I did have the game glitch out one time on, I believe it was the Island of Fallen Leaves, and every time I would hit a school of fish, it would respawn immediately somewhere else close by, and I just kept doing it. I probably did it like 20 times, but I think that was just a random glitch and just some dumb luck, because I've never seen it happen again. So don't take that as a chance to do it. You're only going to get one shot per island. So it's pretty much a one shot tail while you're waiting some of these other methods I'm going to show you. So we're just going to let these produce. I don't want to get too many in here because they'll start just kind of overpopulating, and I don't want them to overpopulate. So while that's going, I'm going to go back here. I made a little ramp to get back to my fishing area. Just using stuff I had left over from other videos. High-speed conveyor belts, dashboards. If you watch my other videos, you know I like messing around with those. So, and it's not quite 3 o'clock. And you usually get multiple tries if you fish between 3 and 9. So we're going to try another skill called Contamination. This is a skill. And the idea of this skill, as you see, I just got a bone. It says I spit out a foreign object that was in your food. I've done a full video on Contamination. But the idea is that you eat food and you find something in it. Because of this skill, it'll have a weird enchantment. Usually it's like a negative enchantment. But the idea is you can get feces with this method. I've done this several times. I haven't gotten it yet, so I think the chance to get feces from this is pretty low. I think it was probably put in there more as a joke. You know, that this food tastes like crap kind of joke. But most of what I've gotten, you got leather, needle, iron ore, rocks, talons. I've gotten a wide variety of things, but I still haven't gotten a feces. I got an egg, which doesn't make any sense at all. But you can see here it's in your living skill tree, 3rd tier. And I've got it maxed out, so it should be a 25% chance that this is going to happen. So, I mean, it's a possibility, but as you're going to see, I'm going to try to do this a lot in this video, and it's just not going to be good luck. And you can use wheat. Wheat's the easiest thing to get early, especially early in the game. And that's the other thing I want to emphasize by what we're doing here is the main reason you want to get feces in this game is so that you can make saltpeter and then make black gunpowder so that you can advance your age when you get to the age of fire. That's one of the things you need is all that gunpowder. So one of the ways you get gunpowder is to make feces, and I cast in my net, and of course the fish shadow went away on the first shot. No feces. Did get some bargain mechanical parts, which are that's not a bad deal. So as I was saying, the main reason, before I got distracted by my fish shadow disappearing, is this should all be stuff you can do fairly early in the game to get that 50 black gunpowder. There are other methods to get black gunpowder. One of them is supply drops. So that's another huge recommendation I have, is to always go get your supply drops, because not only they could have black gunpowder, they could have saltpeter in them, so you can take that and make the saltpeter into black gunpowder. So let's see how many. So just 2 so far, so that's not good, but it also could be possible that I was too far away from from my giraffe, so he may not have been producing feces while I was that far away. That's the other thing you want to do with this, is either set up monoliths so these things don't go to sleep when you're too far away from them if you go away from them, or go in your settings, especially on PC, and crank up the render settings, or just turn off there's a setting where you can just have the physics go all the time. It will run slower, but that's why we do this on a empty island, so you don't really have too many things affecting it. So there goes. Giraffe just pooped again, so that's good. So we really haven't been doing this too long, so it's being fairly consistent. So the idea is that your giraffe's going to poop about once every 3 minutes on average. There's a bone that I got from eating that food. So, if we're got 3 poop in 9 minutes, and we haven't even hit the 9-minute mark, we're still doing good on that. So that's, like I said, the pet giraffe is probably the best AFK method. You can catch them early in the game. You can find them on the island of residence, capture them. The only problem is the pet management machine may not unlock for you early enough to do it. So that could be problematic. I'll have to look up what age it is that the pet management machine unlocks. Get it, clumsy egg. So I'm getting a good amount of cows in here, and they're getting kind of crowded. I think some of them are even getting back up on my breeders. Like I said, I didn't want too many, so I'm going to start taking some of these breeders out. I think I'll let these finish over here. And from my understanding, it doesn't matter how much room your animals have. It doesn't matter how much they're moving. It's just a percentage based on how long it's been since that timer's kicked off, for them to go poop, basically. So you can have them all in a little 4x4 square. You can have them all spread out over a wide area. I mean, my recommendation is when you're starting out, you're on the island of the beginner, and there's not that many animals. So usually the animals around you, if you're just kind of running around, you know, crafting, completing missions, doing things, just wait that 30 minutes. And a lot of the times the chickens and the sheep and the cows right around you will go ahead and poop. And you have a far higher rate. I mean, usually it doesn't take long to get about 20-30 feces. So just use that. So here's the other thing that you can do. So there's a skill that allows you to recoup your cost. And what you need to do is get a planter. And a planter does require 5 feces. It requires some other things. But the thing about this requiring 5 feces is there's a structural mechanics skill that allows you a chance to get back what you used to build it. So you're going to gain a chance to retrieve a portion of the building's material when the construction and building. Now it's only a 3.5% chance, but this is really easy to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to place a planter, you're going to pick it up, and you're going to place it again. And you're just going to keep doing this, and eventually you're going to get some of that feces back, along with some of the other materials. So I'm going to do this until you see what happens. Just watch the bottom right where it shows that I'm placing it, and you should see that I'm going to get some of these materials back in my inventory. And there you go. See, I had so much stacked up there that the feces actually fell on the ground. But if you notice, I got back water, I got back some bones. So even though it cost me 5 feces to build this, I was able to get it back by setting that down. And the thing is you can just keep doing this. And it doesn't matter that, you know, you've already placed it, you pick it up, as long as it's not trying to grow seeds. I think even if it's growing seeds, you can still pick it up. And you can do this with the small planter too. I just think it's more efficient with the medium size because it takes 5 feces to get that. And you usually always get back the 5 feces, so it's a multiple. So if you keep doing this, and the idea is if it's a 3% chance, you know, that means about 1 out of every 33, 30 to 33 placements should yield back that return of feces. And while this is annoying to do and you really can't AFK this method, this is why I would say you do this if you can get a pet giraffe, if you can get some animals, and do this for about 30 minutes, and you're probably going to have a good chunk of feces in your inventory. There you go. I got another back, 5 more feces, got some sand, water back that time. I think the only thing I don't get back is ceramic maybe out of this, but that's okay. I don't need the ceramic. It's really, I'm just doing this for the feces. You can see I still got my cows waiting to poop. I got my pet giraffe waiting to poop. And we're just going to keep doing this. And I'm going to go for, like I said, about 30 minutes in this video, waiting on the cows. We're just going to kind of look at the end and see which one's the most efficient way to get feces, because there's just so many people are like, I can't get my animals poop, can't get my animal poops. Honestly, from what I'm seeing, that's like the slowest method to go. You know, the Pet Giraffe is good, but really I think this method of using the structural mechanics and doing this planner this way is probably far more efficient. There you go, got another 5 back. So I've already tripled, you know, what I've invested in this planner. I'm gonna try some more. There's a bone I got out of my foreign materials. Still no poop out here, although it's still early. I have seen them poop before the time is up, so let's check on our giraffe. Let's see how he's doing. He's up to 8. I mean, wow, 8, and you know that's almost averaging 1 every 2 minutes. So that's pretty good. I've got 15, so I'm getting it going pretty good, and you know I'm not having to rely on my cow farm. Now, if you're early in the game, like I said, and you can't get some of these other things, the cow farm or just doing whatever kind of animal farm you have might be the better route. Still trying to get this contamination to give me some. I've had 0 luck. I mean, according to everything I've read, the contamination is a way to do this, but the percent chance must be so low. I mean, I have literally eaten, so far I'm on 50 wheat. I started out with a stack of 100 because I tried some before I even started the video, and I still have yet to get into any. And I'm on some incredibly terrible luck right now because it's supposed to be a 25% chance, and it's not working right now. So I'm not sure what's going on. Let's try something different besides wheat. Still nothing. Still nothing? That's weird. How about a hot dog? Still nothing? How about an egg? There we go. So I'm going to kind of fast forward through this. I'm just going to keep trying the medium-sized planter until we get later on in the video. You can just kind of watch to see, and I'll show you the total. But I want to see that show you that I didn't go anywhere else. I'm trying to stay on this island until my animals do something, just so we can see how much they're going to drop and kind of compare it versus what I got from the planter, what I got from contamination, and then what I got from my pet giraffe also. So I've been doing this for a while, and I feel that if I would have done this the full 30 minutes, I would be probably bored out of my mind first. But if I'm trying to get the feces the quickest way, doing the medium-sized planter is probably the quickest way to do this. I don't know how you could AFK this. It seems pretty consistent. You might be able to write a little auto hotkey thing to do this because it's just 2 keys. On console, you just be out of luck. You're just going to have to manually do this. But if you get good luck on that skill, on the structural mechanics skill, this really could be a good method to get feces. And I would recommend that if you're going to do a lot of building, you might as well put some points in that structural mechanics. I mean, because you got a good chance of getting those materials back for other stuff that you put in place. So if you want to save on some materials, structural mechanics is the way to go. But we're hitting about the 30-minute mark. Doesn't look like my cows have produced a lot of feces in my farm, so I'm going to call that probably a bust. I'm going to say, and we'll check the numbers here in a little bit, because we're still kind of counting down for 30 minutes, so doing the planter method's probably the first way, and that's probably going to be the easiest because I think you can get those planters fairly quickly in the game. Even if you can't get the medium size, you can get the smaller planter. It's not as much feces you get back, but it's still a viable option. The Pet Giraffe is definitely the second best method. And you can AFK the Pet Giraffe, so you could just put him in a pen, go AFK for an hour, and probably end up with 20 feces. And maybe do a farm too, and maybe get lucky and get some feces from your farm animals too. Let's just check on our progress of our giraffe. So 12. So I mean that's pretty good. About 12 and 30 minutes. We were a little ahead of that 30%. I was expecting just to have 10 in there, so we're doing good so far on that. The cows, not so much. So let's check our totals and see exactly where we are so far. So I've got 31. 30 of those came from the planter. 1 came from the cow. All the cows. So the cows are the loser. Let's go check. And this is within about 30 minutes. And honestly, I didn't do the planter the whole time. So let's look around, see if the cows dropped any more feces. Just haven't seen any. So cows are definitely kind of a bust. Giraffe, Pet Giraffe, 13 in 30 minutes. That's good too. So 44 in 30 minutes. I'd say that's a good haul. So I would say the planter is the winner. Do that if you need to get feces fast. Farm early in the game. Pick up early in the game. Contamination is a bust. Fishing is possibility. You can also get them for material gotcha coins. The highest grade gotcha prisms, so give that a try. That's all I've got for today. Good luck with getting feces. Thanks for watching.